A low fog settled over the grassy field at dawn. The sound of iron striking iron echoed through the morning air as soldiers prepared for battle. A young Roman legionary stood at the front of the line, gripping his shield tight against his chest. His red tunic was damp with sweat, and the weight of his armor pressed heavy on his shoulders. He could hear orders being shouted in Latin as centurions moved up and down the line. Behind him, thousands more soldiers waited in perfect formation. Ahead, an enemy force stirred in the distance. But the young legionary was calm. He was part of a Roman legion, trained, disciplined, and ready. In that moment, he knew that he was not just one man. He was part of something larger, something powerful, something built to conquer. The Roman legion was the heart of the Roman army and one of the most powerful fighting forces in ancient history. A legion was made up of about 4,000 to 6,000 soldiers, all trained to fight together in perfect order. These soldiers, called legionaries, were Roman citizens who had passed strict tests to join. They were strong, loyal, and prepared for years of service, sometimes up to 20 years or more. The strength of a legion came not just from weapons or armor, but from discipline, training, and teamwork. Training began as soon as a man joined the legion. Each new recruit learned to march for miles while wearing full armor. He learned how to use a short sword called a gladius and how to throw a heavy spear called a pilum. He practiced forming shield walls and following commands without hesitation. Every move had to be exact. Even small mistakes could be deadly in battle. Soldiers also built camps, dug ditches, and carried supplies. A legionary was not only a fighter, he was a builder, a guard, and a worker. Roman training was so strict that other armies feared the discipline of the legions more than their swords. A Roman soldier wore a helmet made of iron or bronze, a breastplate or chainmail, and carried a large curved shield called a scutum. He wore a red tunic under his armor and marched with sandals called caligae. The sword the gladius was short and used for stabbing in close combat. Roman soldiers did not swing wildly in battle. They moved in tight lines, kept their shields up, and struck with precision. The pilum was thrown before the enemy reached them, and it was made to bend on impact so it could not be thrown back. The legion moved as one. They fought in rows, with the front lines attacking and then moving back to rest, while the next lines stepped forward. This rotation kept Roman soldiers fresher than their enemies. They could form strong shield walls, or testudo, tortoise, where the men would lock their shields together in front and above to protect against arrows and spears. These formations were hard to break and gave Rome a great advantage. The Roman legions fought in many famous battles. One example is the Battle of Alesia in 52 BCE. Julius Caesar, one of Rome's greatest generals, led his legions to surround a large Gallic army inside a hilltop fort. The Gauls outnumbered the Romans, but Caesar's men built strong walls around the fort and even more walls behind them to protect against other enemies. After weeks of fighting, the Gauls surrendered. The battle showed how Roman planning and discipline could win even the hardest battles. Another famous battle was the Battle of Zama in 202 BCE. This was during the Second Punic War, when the Roman general Scipio faced off against Hannibal, the famous Carthaginian leader. Hannibal had defeated many Roman armies, but at Zama, the Roman legions were ready. They stood firm against Hannibal's elephants and broke his lines with their well-trained formations. This victory ended the war and proved the strength of the legions once again. Each legion was led by a legatus, a high-ranking officer chosen by the Roman Senate or the emperor. Below him were centurions who commanded groups of 80 to 100 men. Centurions were tough, experienced soldiers who led from the front and demanded perfect discipline. If a soldier disobeyed, he could be punished severely. Roman discipline was strict, but helped keep the legions strong and organized. When legions weren't fighting, they built roads, forts, and walls. They helped expand the Roman Empire by building wherever they went. One famous example is Hadrian's Wall in northern Britain. Roman soldiers built this wall to protect the edge of the empire from attacks. Even today, parts of it still stand. As the Roman Empire grew, it needed more and more soldiers. Over time, some legions began to include non-Roman citizens called auxiliaries. These men came from places like Gaul, Spain, and North Africa. They were not full citizens, but they could earn citizenship by serving in the army. This made the Roman military even larger and helped the empire stay strong for hundreds of years. But no empire lasts forever. As Rome grew too large, it became harder to control. Some legions began to fight each other during civil wars. The Roman economy weakened and enemies grew stronger. By the 400 CE, the Western Roman Empire began to fall, and with it, the power of the legions faded. Still, their legacy lived on. The Roman legion was more than just a group of soldiers. It was a symbol of strength, order, and unity. Their discipline, teamwork, and smart tactics helped them conquer lands from Britain to Egypt. Even today, people study their methods in military schools around the world. From the young warrior standing firm at dawn to the generals planning great battles, the story of the Roman legion is one of courage, skill, and the power of working together.